Stampers, Kim from stampingandperfection.com. Welcome to my craft room. I saw this sentiment in, there's a stamp set called Choose Happiness, and it has actually a stamp set called Choose Happiness. Look at this fabulous stamp set. It's got the bird, it's got a little banner shape with a wood grain, it's got your leaf element, a beautiful flower, a border element, and then it says, when I need a friend, you're there. Like, this is a fabulous, this is like the perfect stamp set. It's got a little bit of everything. So today I'm going to use the sentiment from this stamp set, and I'm using some scraps that I have. So I had a piece of Whisper White cut at 3x6. I scored it at 3 inches. So I have a 3x3 card here. So I'm just going to make a little gift card. It's June. I need gift cards. I'm starting out with my Lost Lagoon, and I'm actually going to use my aqua painter, and I'll make sure it's wet. I'm going to pick up some ink, and I'm using on one of these tea lace doilies. I'm just using this aqua painter. I love this color, this Lost Lagoon, because look how green this looks. Like, this looks so green, and you can make it as dark or as light as you want with the aqua painter, and you know, vary the colors throughout. Then I'm going to let this dry before I cut it, but it will dry. You can speed the drying process along. I just want to make it a little bit, I like it to like have some color variations, so I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. I probably should make it darker lower because I only need a little piece. So then I'll squeeze out, I'm squeezing water through this to clean this off. And you'll do this till it runs clear with your aqua painter. So the aqua painters are a lot of fun to use. I'll pat the excess. You can see I have it all over my fingers already. I am not a tidy crafter. It's going to give me just a little bit of color. I think this was Calypso Coral a couple weeks ago, and how pretty is that? So you can use any color. I did not make this one very dark. I could have made it much darker. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside and let that dry for a couple minutes while I work on my sentiment. And I want my sentiment to be different colors. So I'm going to start with my lightest color. On my Stampin' Right marker, I can see I have a brush end and a fine tipped end. I'm going to use the brush end, and I'm going to color these little scallops, and I'm using the side of my marker. I'm just coloring in the little scallops with the yellow. So I start with my lightest color. I'm going to try to hopefully cover the whole thing like that. Then I'm going to go to my next lightest color, which is the Lost Lagoon. So that was the Hello Honey. Now I'm using Lost Lagoon, and I'm going to color in the Choose. I love this sentiment, Choose Happiness. Happiness is a choice. Definitely. And then I have my Cherry Cobbler. I love the way the Cherry Cobbler looks with these new in colors. I can't wait till Christmas. That mossy meadow and the Cherry Cobbler. It's going to be gorgeous. Okay. Now I'm going to give this a little huff. So I'm going to stamp this on Whisper White, and I'm leaving as much room as I can there because I want to punch this out with my banner framelit, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Big Shot, and of course I'm going to use my magnetic platform. I have a cutting pad on top of the magnetic platform, so I'll put my paper down, and then I'm putting my framelit down with the raised side down on the paper. I'm going to center this, center the image on that. I may actually need to cut the size the top down a little, that's okay. So just trim that down a little bit. And now I'm going to actually trim this. This is fairly dry now, so I'm actually going to trim this on my paper trimmer. I just want a little piece and I want it to fit across. I'll trim this down. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to stick this down with a little bit of glue. And this is just going to be a tiny bit of glue because it's already a little tiny bit wet, but I'll put a couple dabs here and there with my Tombow glue, making sure not to put any on the ends. I'm going to put other things on top of it, so it won't really matter if I don't get it perfect, done perfectly. And I do want to center it, and then I'll just trim off the edges that don't really fit. Okay, so I'll just use my paper snips and snip off the edges. Now I have a piece of, this is like a 1/2 inch wide. This is from the Moonlight Designer Series paper. I'm also going to stick this down along the top. So I'll run a little glue. I'm going to line it up on one edge over here, like that. And again, I'm going to cut this from the back with my paper snips, just like that. And then I'm going to put this banner down in the center, and I love some of the new washi tape, so I picked this one. It's black, it's like a black scallop, and I just want to rip a hunk off. I'm going to put this across the top. The whole point of the washi tape is to rip it. It should be uneven. We have to let go of our perfectionism there. Then I'm going to take some of this linen thread, and I'm just going to double it over. I'm going to make a little bow. Okay, so now I've got my glue dot without untying my thing here. I'm going to put this in this upper corner. Now this is also sticking up a little bit, so I'm going to use my paper piercer, and I'm just going to put one glue dot underneath this banner so that it lays down. You could put glue instead. Okay, so far that's what I have. You might want to try a different color background, but I really like the white on white that it gives. And then for final touch, I'm just going to take some leftover candy dots, and I think I just want to put, I think I'll use these dark ones. I'm just going to randomly put these around. And this is very similar to an idea that came in the demonstrator catalog one, or not the catalog, but magazine. I just put my own twist on it. There you go. A little 3x3 card. Choose happiness. It's going to make a perfect little gift card to tuck into one of my students' graduation gifts, or into one of my niece's graduation gifts. So thanks very much for watching. Check out my blog at stampingandperfection.com. Subscribe to my Facebook page, and please give this video a like if you like it, and share it with your friends if you think they might like it. So thanks very much for watching.